Welcome back to the Life in a Deep Pod, where we talk about real things with real people, real stories, right here in the heart of Dallas. I'm your host, Tila, and today we are talking about something that hits close to home, and that's weight loss, wellness, and getting your groove back. My guest today is a weight loss specialist, a nurse, and she's really helping people achieve their weight loss goals and having their own transformations. So, we're going to jump right into things and talk about what really works, what's the hype, and finding some balance to your weight loss process.
So then I started my journey with the GLP-1s, and it came off very, very because I was already doing the thing. I was doing all the things. It came off so fast. I had to say, "Wanna let it slow it down because this went too fast and it didn't look right." So if you lose weight too fast, it can change your appearance of your face. Your skin start to sag because you're not giving it enough time to catch up, to what you're doing. So then I went through a process of gaining a little bit and then losing it a little bit. And
Okay.
I like it a little bit,
Yeah. It's
55,
looking good.
it's all right for 55.
It's looking
So
good. It's looking good. But what I'm
yeah,
hearing you saying is it's a whole like art form to figuring this out, right? It's the diet, it's checking it out, seeing what works for you and what works for other people. It's a whole lot to this process. It's not just like one
individual.
or two, three things. It's a number of things.
It's a number of things. It's something individual. You gotta go into it when you're consulting someone and look at their picture and how they are. They may have other issues and concerns. PCOS plays a big part of it. All these metabolic syndromes and things that happen with thyroid disease, that can play a big part of it. Diabetes can play a big part of it. All of that is a metabolic. We have such a difficult time losing weight. The GLP-1s say, "Pow, pow, 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 I got you," you know,
Hmm.
"I got you with this." So, I love them. I mean, whoever thought of this was a genius. It works perfectly. There are some side effects and things like that to some of them, but, you know, some of them don't give you as many side effects too, and certain things like constipation can with any kind of weight loss regimen because the goal is to slow your motility down so you don't feel like you're hungry all the time. It makes you feel fuller when your motility in your GI, gastrointestinal tract lower. You feel fuller. So when it's going slower, that means you're going to get a little more constipated. Adding you're on a regimen as far as if you already know you suffer with that stool soft and things like that work perfectly well.
Yeah. Yeah. And so when do you suggest like the GLP-1s? You said at first you did it kind of without you lost your weight without those.
I
You did
lost
your
all my
nutrition.
weight without it.
Right. So when do you like normally used to suggest people go ahead and add that to it if they find that just the diet and exercise is not working, or like when do you decide that that's to recommend that the GLP ones?
Why? I recommend it right away. Thank suffer. Why
Okay.
suffer? Because I went through a trying time of getting that weight off, and it can be process where you just don't want to do it because it's not working for you.
Hmm.
I was very determined. I'm a very determined. If I start something, I am a person of completion. I am task oriented. So if I start something, I must complete it. It will bother me all the days. So me not losing all the weight was me not being completed in a task. So it was my goal and it was a serious one for me because like I said, I am very task oriented, um, and it had to be completed. So,
Right.
but it was hard. It was difficult. I mean, to the number. I was on the scale daily to the number. Once I completed it, and 50 hit, and it started creeping back up a little bit, and I was getting closer back to 100 mark. I was like 191, I believe, when I got back on. I was like, "What is going on? What is going on with me?" And my friend said, "Oh, you're a nurse practitioner. You didn't think about that, you're in menopause and stuff like that." I'm like, "I had to think about it." So, yeah, it's I think it's the best thing for anyone to try and do. It makes it easier. My process was very, very hard, very, very regimental, very, very strict. I didn't have bread in my house.
Yeah.
I had no sugars in my house.
Yeah.
But I'll close my eyes driving past the McDonald's and the because it was very, very hard, and I was, really. And every time I thought about doing it, I heard you're pretty for a fat girl, so then it will not, we're not going into that mode again. We don't want to be there ever again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and let's talk about that. Sometimes, yeah, like how people receive us is differently, whether they see us with a little more weight on us or not, and
Hmm.
how it impacts our confidence. We looking in the mirror and we don't like the way our outfits are fitting. We may not want to get out in the world and do nothing because we ain't liking how these clothes fit in. We're not liking how we're not loving ourselves in that
I
state.
loving
So
ourselves. Even though you
yeah,
love yourself, you don't love yourself. You know what I'm saying? Oh, yeah, I loved myself. I had all the confidence in the world. I'm a smart cookie. I didn't think I looked bad or anything, but with the extra weight, I do see differences in my pictures greatly,
hmm,
and could see where I could stand to lose the weight. And after having babies and stuff, it's hard, your body change, and I was in a marriage and stuff, you get lackadaisical when you're in a marriage, you think, "Oh, you don't need to do nothing." And I was always a very athletic girl,
yeah,
I was a majorette, I was a cheerleader, I did all of those things, I played tennis. I stayed, and when I was in school back in the day,
okay, yeah,
I was 3 snaps and all the bags of chips, okay?
I know that's right.
But yeah, when you gain the weight, you lose that confidence a little bit, and, it
Hmm.
can be hard walking past the mirror naked. It can be hard.
Okay, yes. Or when you got to go buy a size up and you're like, I really don't want to buy them double
I wanna
digits.
buy, but I
Yeah.
sure can't squeeze myself into this, so
Yes.
I have to. Yeah.
Yes. Yes. Do you find that the GLP-1s work differently then, depend on the age? Do you feel like it's different? Do you have you seen that with some of your clients?
I've seen medical conditions
Okay.
may slow your process down. Like I said, like the PCOS, the
Mhm.
diabetes, having thyroid issues. It definitely helps with like cardiac function and cardiovascular disease. It's made for people who done had a heart attack and stuff like that.
Mhm.
It's changing all the things in when I explain to my clients, I'm like, it's like the sugar bus, you know, it goes in and it attacks all these sugars in your bloodstream so that they don't turn into fat. Stuff that turn into fat then can clog your arteries and stuff like that, and then you can get multiple MIs, like which is like either a stroke or a heart attack. MIs or a heart attack, but you can or whatever. So it really helps with those kind of clients. Even when I refer my clients out, their cardiologist is happy that I've already started that process for them.
Mhm.
They're happy for that. And like you're doing your job. So
Right. And so did your weight loss, journey happen before you started helping your clients, or was it during the middle of your clients? Like, was that the motivator for you to go ahead and get into this and start helping folks out? Or like, how did the timeline work as far as that?
I wasn't a nurse practitioner at the time, so it definitely was my own journey,
Okay.
own journey. And then when I became a nurse practitioner, I worked for people and I just didn't like the way they did thing, you were a number. My clinic, you're not a number, you're a person, and we're gonna talk about it and however long it take for me to explain it. I need that time, and I wasn't given that when I worked for others. You got 15 minutes, you get in and you get out. I can't work like that. I felt like I wasn't helping. I felt restricted, and I didn't like it. So I said, you know what? I'm gonna start working. I'm gonna do this. I can do this. I
Mhm.
do this for people, and people need somebody who really care about their health, and they're not just a number, and they can learn how to take better care of it, because that's what it is. You gotta
Yeah.
learn how to take better care of yourself. And it
Mhm.
you don't have the skills, and we should be the ones teaching you. And
Yeah.
that don't take it take longer than 15 minutes.
Mhm.
I said I was gonna start my own business, and I did, and that was 7 years ago. Thank God. I was
Mhm.
scared. I was scared to get out there on my own, but I did it, and it was slow process, and it was during COVID. If
Oh,
nobody was
wow.
nobody's doctor. And when I started, I promise you, I started November the 8th, 19 November 28th, 2019 was my startup date,
I feel
and
like that's when
everybody
COVID
was
was getting
on
real hot here.
lockdown. It was on
Yes.
lock. So I had to think, I said, well, how can I'm gonna be able to survive? So at that point in time, I just said, "You weight loss, I know that. They might be at home, but I could do a virtual. We could do
Mhm,
virtual." And I got set up with that. I'm not very technical with computers and stuff like that, but so I had to learn
mhm.
skill and stuff. And I put up a big old, what you call a billboard
Yeah.
on 20
Okay.
weight loss. My name changed. I was weight away, health and wellness. I had a
Okay.
whole billboard on 20 by the Target. I'll never forget because you go walk that trail and you'll see it. You walk that trail right there by the Target in Grand Prairie almost, I think it is. So I started getting calls and stuff, and people, I'm getting fed, so we started helping people, and the main thing was giving them the knowledge and then, helping them out with a little bit of Phenamine. I'm not a big fan of Phenamine, but it was what we had at that time. So we worked with that and people lost weight. It wasn't as fast. It wasn't as,
Yeah.
it was still hard. And I used other adjunct medications that you could use to help them with weight loss, and, they were successful. I remember now one of my clients came in yesterday, and I did not recognize, right? Because sometimes I don't see you guys, and you see my medical assistant, y'all come, in and get
Yeah.
this shot, and I don't see them all the time. And I hadn't seen her in a while, and I was working by myself, the other day. So I'm the everybody. I'm the medical assistant. I'm phone. I'm doing all the things. So I was really busy, and I didn't recognize her. I recognized her voice. This was the lady who started with me, but she had other problems. She has PCOS. It was difficult for her to do. And she tried with
Mhm.
and it wasn't working out. It's like, you need to probably try to get, I know this medication can be a little costly, but I mean, if your goal is to get the weight off and feel better, she had a lot of problems with PCOS. It helped, it serves your fertility problems. She doesn't have
Yeah.
kids, infertile and stuff like that, and she wished she had that med before she turned her great age of 50, which,
Mhm.
so she doesn't have any kids. And now, she could have had a kid and if that medicine was available to her and she would have been able to lose weight. And she said to me yesterday, I am so grateful for you because you pushed me to do something out of my norm. Like, get on this, man. I feel so much better. My knees don't hurt anymore. I have more confidence in myself. I feel so good when I wake up. I want to wake up. There was a time she said she didn't want to wake up. So that
Yeah.
was just so, for me, I take it in the heart, all of
Mhm.
those. Like, thank you so much, Tracy. I was like, she was like, I started with you when you were way away. Oh, good. She looked so good. I didn't recognize her. I could not recognize she had done lost all her weight. Coming in for a weight check, accountability, like you always preach, is everything.
Mhm.
And I appreciate you remembering those words, remembering the things that I've said to you guys. I appreciate it because it means I'm not just saying it in vain.
Yeah, yeah. And I think that's too speaks to what you were saying about the not being a number and not being like a 15-minute appointment. I think feeling like you have that person that's rooting for you and kind of like your accountability partner kind of helps you stay motivated and stay doing the right things, right?
Right, right. Part of your health and wellness,
Mhm.
I understand, we got some thick girls out there think they're very healthy. I mean, you might feel very healthy at the moment, but it'll catch up. It'll catch
Mhm.
in other ways. Your knees can only withstand so much. Your hips can only with so much on that in that target. So then you might need a knee replacement. You might feel good, but a hip replacement or something like that. So obesity does play a big role health and wellness. It's one of the major ones because it's connected to everything. Connected
Yeah.
to diabetes. It's connected to hypertension. It's connected to all those things.
And it's interesting too how sometimes you may feel like you got a little weight on you, but you don't realize like, we obese if we like X amount of weight. Like it don't take that much to really
It don't
be
take that much, you know.
a little bit over
It
what
really
you
now let me say, us girls, we got thicker bones, we made differently. So we heavier and you can't go sometimes by that little BMI chart.
Yeah.
You can't go. you might level up a little bit because you might look a little cracky and it's going my chart for a black girl. So if they still say, because I teach that too, made a little different. I have them
Mhm.
all. I have blacks, Caucasian, Asians, Latinas. They're all Indians. All of them come to my clinic. So,
Mhm.
everybody's a little different when it comes to where their BMI is. You got to look at what you look like, and you got to look at how you feel.
Yeah. And what would you say for people who feel like the GLP-1s and the weight loss drugs are like this trendy little thing that we don't really know the long-term side? People who are a little bit hesitant because they just don't know about it. What would you what kind of advice would you give them?
Well, if you're obese, that's a long term side effect right there.
Okay.
So, and you don't know the long term side of it. You get stroke, MI. You lose your ability to be mobile. Your knees start crunching together, and your hips, and all of those things happen too.
Yeah,
So,
that's true.
medications, yeah, and you can also, when you're obese, then you become diabetic, and they put you on something for diabetes. It might not be that, but then the reason why you're on something is because of your obesity. So it all leads to that. So you have a problem with a drug like GLP-1, you gotta weigh your pros and your cons. Pros and your cons.
Mhm.
How can this medicine help me? And how can this medicine hurt?
Yeah.
We know the side effects of the medications. They've been out for a while. I've been on this med for a little while now, and I mean, it ain't going nowhere for me. It keeps me right here because I was creeping back up. I'm 55, so I could just see where I would have been back to the 20 maybe. No,
Yeah.
we're not doing it. So yeah, there's side effects from the medications depending on, how you're treated and everything. And we watch for all of them. We watch for everything. We definitely want to know if you're having any problems or anything. I just don't get that I'm just still because of the side effects. Side effects.
Yeah.
There's side effects of everything.
That's true. And then do you think that once people start it, is something that they're gonna be on for pretty much a long time, or they can wean off of it over time, or how do you feel like as far as how long they need to be on it
Let me say,
generally?
I'm a fat girl from the heart. I love food. I'm from New
Yeah.
Orleans. A little bit more and not lose, have problem of gaining it. I'm gonna be okay with P1 that I'm not as restricted. I was not as happy. I was happy that I was my weight. When I would go out, I have to still watch myself real closely. Even though I work out, I still work out, but I'm not doing 2-a-days anymore. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. I don't
Mhm.
like to work out like that, but I like the way my body look when I work out. So I do
Mhm.
make sure to work out 3 to 4 times a week. I still eat pretty good, but when I want something, I go ahead on and have it.
Yeah.
Can.
Yeah.
But, otherwise, with the GLP ones not being on board, I would start to gain more weight. So I'm okay with that. Some people who I have treated, they're off of. I've
Mhm.
treated this guy. He flew in from Mississippi. And he was a big guy. He was 400 and some pounds.
Oof.
Sister, yeah, his sister, he was depressed. He had lost half of his foot and stuff. He was an athlete. He played football. His sister lived here. And she was like, he's just so depressed. He's so depressed.
Mhm.
He just wants you to help him. And she flew him here. And I'll never forget, so he started being my virtual client. So he would meet the man and he'd fly out and we'd have our conversations to weight checking virtually. I have a video of him saying at this point he had lost 105 pounds. He said, I lost 105 pounds so far. I lost the whole person.
Yeah.
You listen to what she's saying and you do what you need to do. This is what can happen. I mean, he was really big. He had a big belly. He was tall too, muscular. Old came back and he just looked so good. And he's not on anything.
Mhm.
Still checks in. Every couple of months he's checking in, just checking in. This is accountability. Just check in. It don't cost you nothing to check in.
Yeah.
So he checks in, he get on, he book his little weight check. We have us a little 15-minute conversation. If he had any questions or concerns, he get it done. But he's been off of the medicine for now probably he's
Okay.
not gaining 1 pound back.
Okay.
Actually, he's
Mhm.
some weight since being off it's slower, but he's still losing the weight. So yeah, people, if you listen and you do the things, because like I said, I did all the things without it in the beginning and I lost all the weight. Those things work
Mhm.
slowly, a little slower. But if you know you got a goal and you want to get there, and I know how it can be, you want it off, you just want it off, you can turn that off and you just, while you're learning, while you're getting it, pick the skills up, do all the things so that you can then go on to what I call a maintenance program where you don't need it. Just do the things. It works. What I
Mhm. Do you find a lot of people have that kind of mentality? They just need this little jump start to boost them, and then they do go ahead and is that what you're finding with a lot of your clients?
a lot of
Yeah.
my A lot of my clients. And he sent me so many, I done had so many people to fly in from Mississippi. Come here. I done jumped on a plane. I'm here. And they all have done very well. One of them, she like, can you get your license for her? Because I just want you to be my medical provider. Because every time she come or we get on a call, she the medical concern. And I'm like, okay, well, when you fly in, I could, but when you there,
Yeah.
you know. So,
Mhm.
and she'll take a flight in a minute, and I'm like, "This lady, yeah." But she's got diabetes, she had all the things, she had diabetes, she had hypertension, she was obese. Now she's not. She's little something. She came in,
Mhm.
I think she was like 165 pounds, 5 foot even,
Wow.
65 pounds. She is 120. Yeah,
Wow.
little bitty thing. Her diabetes, you wouldn't even be able to, if you check her hemoglobin A1C, you wouldn't even think she was diabetic.
Mhm.
Yeah. So
Dang,
it
it's like a
helped.
miracle.
Yeah. So
It's a
she's like,
miracle.
it's just you taking the time for me to understand my process with diabetes was just a big thing for me. They don't do
Yeah.
that. They don't do that here. So she paid for these services. Like she gonna come in for a medical visit. She gonna fly in and come in
Mhm.
for a medical visit. Cause,
Yeah.
you know, that's what sometimes they have to do. I'm not
Mhm.
licensed in that state.
Yeah. Yeah. But in addition to your GLP-1s, you also offer some other services that help with like weight loss and some different stuff. You want to kind of talk about some of the other things that you suggest for folks who are trying to tone up?
We have a body sculpting little thing that we do, and people are doing really, really well with that.
So talk a little bit about how the body sculpting works though. Like I see it when people like the on social media and stuff, but how does it really work?
It's a lot of modalities. It's not
Okay.
just one thing. It starts with weight loss, right? Exercise, right? Diet, right? Water intake, right? Those things work first. And then there are some lipotropic medicines that you can inject into those cutaneous fat pockets that will kind of like dissolve that fat
Mm,
for you. And then there's machines like an ultrasonic cavitation that I love that actually goes in and it breaks down that fat even more and you drink some water and you kind of go walking or whatever to let you open up your lymphatic system and drink the right type of water because people, they'll do things but they don't give you all the proper
what's
um,
the right type of water?
well, you got to come on.
Okay, okay. I was trying to give my audience a little extra, but okay, okay. We'll
You
wait.
gotta come on in there so I can give you all this good knowledge, you know? So, because I had a client who she lives in McKinney, so I have these clients that live way out there in McKinney, Plano, and what's that other one? Where at Prosper. And
Oh,
they'll come, but they want to do this, the body sculpting, because they done lost all their little weight and they didn't want to get curved out. And they see the little pictures that I be posting, but it's so far to come and do this on a the way
yeah.
we need to do it. So she said she went and got the service done from somewhere else. And when she came back, and I said, well, what did she tell you? How did she was like, that's all she just did it. That was it. I said, oh, baby, that's not how it goes. I said, well, did you see any results? That's why. She was like, man, I'm a wait. I'm gonna just come here. I know I'm gonna have to take this 45 minutes an hour drive. I said, I understand, honey, but you see, you paid your little $300 for that one little service, and you ain't lost nothing. Let me come on in
Right.
because it don't take one. First of all, I tell people don't purchase one because it's you're not.
You need a
That
package.
would be
It's
me just
multiple.
taking. taking your money, and I don't do that.
Yeah.
I want you to see the results.
Hmm.
So she was upset that she spent a little money like that and didn't get no result. But yeah, it's a bunch of things. So the ultrasonic cavitation, is melt that fat, you're gonna drink the water, you're gonna do the things, and then it's also got a little thing. I use all of the tools on that. The suction, there's the RF, which is radio, and it shrinks up your skin, tighten it up for you, making you, not so loose in that area. So anyway, and then there's another machine that helps with muscle toning. I love that machine too. It builds those muscles underneath. You might not even think you're building, but baby, it give you about 10,000 sit-ups in about 30 minutes. One of my clients said every time she get on, she was like, "Oh, I felt it." That was the one who lost all the weight that in my client. So she started the service now. And she was like, "Oh, it, it, I feel it." I said, "When I get on it, I feel it." But some people get on it and they don't feel it like that. Well, I
Yeah.
guess my muscles are, they probably been working out more, and now it's a new thing for her to use those type of muscles. So yeah, you use that. All of those things, plus, doing a little training of the waistline and stuff like that. All of that go together.
Okay.
So see them curves start happening, they pow for you. I
Yeah.
got some clients who's really shown some great progress with that. Mhm.
Okay. So you kind of almost start to finish. They come in, have a consultation and talk about the process, get on a GLP-1, and then they can also come back and get some tone up with the contouring. So they can kind of come to you for a lot of the steps in the weight loss process.
Have a whole package deal for it. So, I got a whole glow up package, honey. And it come with all of that in it. So we start the weight loss part and we hold on to the other ones until we get to a certain number on that. And then we start that process of getting you toned. So I have 3 tiers of a package. Right now, we running our fall season package, where we're gonna be ready for January 1. You
That's right.
step into the new year's.
Okay. Yes. I love
I am
that.
a primary care provider as well, so I see people with chronic illnesses and wound care. I'm a wound care specialist, so I do take care of that too. I do other things like IV hydration. And it could be good for the skin, it could be good for weight loss, it could be good for pain. We make some cocktails, honey. We gonna get you right. I get in there and stick myself sometime and get my little IV going. I'm like, "Ooh, child, you need something today."
Okay.
Um, you know, my friends say, "I don't know how you could stick yourself." I say, "Just as I stick them, I can stick me."
Hmm.
I get that going, get me a nice little cocktail with look, I do a whole somersault. Skinny, glow, pain free, all of that. I want it all. Put it all in there and drink it up in the IV. So yeah, we
Nice.
do that as well. So we offer like testosterone, TRT for the men. I have a guy, he was huge. He was really, really fluffy. He fine, girl.
Now that that weight they rolled off, he fine. Yes.
I put him on my website because honey,
Oh, we're gonna go look on the website. Make sure you shout out the website. What is it? What doc what?
www.360healthimb.com, honey. He is fine. You see the muscle show. You could see how fluffy he was. He was fluffy. And baby, and when he came, he's off of everything. He came to me for medical concerns. He had hypertension. Oh, let me stop talking about people.
Okay.
You know, he had all kinds of medical concerns and he's off of his medicines. He's lost all this weight and he did the weight loss med and TRT. He worked out and he built some real serious and I'm like,
Okay.
boy, back in the day when you were fluffy, I said, yes.
That's nice.
What are they looking at? I know they're looking at you. I know they're looking at you. He sent me a couple of clients because he sent me some people because
Yeah.
they were looking at him like, boy, what you doing? Yeah, that girl over there, she got you. Yeah.
Yeah. That's good to hear. So you got some good reviews and got some good stuff on your website as well as your social media page, right? Where they
My
can see
social
some.
media, they can see some of my TikToks and my Instagram and clients. A lot of clients are on there. My 7-week program is amazing. It's excellent. I pride myself on it Our clients lose a great deal of weight. Sometimes when you have a lot of weight to lose, or even when you're just trying to get your journey started, you want to have a positive outlook. You want to see the scale moving. And
Yeah.
then in weeks with me, you gonna see that. You
Yeah.
can't because people get discouraged.
Yeah.
It can be discouraging having to do something and you don't lose no weight. And my clients, I've had a young girl lose like 35 pounds in those 7 weeks, do weight loss challenges also. So I give away a lot of stuff and meds and equipment like, weights and ropes and bottles and all kinds of stuff. Even some body sculpting and facials and stuff like that. All of that being to the weight loss. So we do that quarterly, and
Okay.
they wait for it too. They be on it like, "Ooh, outside me up." Homegirl got a lot of stuff to last.
Yes, that's cool. And then how do you balance overall, like, running this business, helping other folks lose weight, and your own weight loss and staying on track with your stuff? How do you balance it all?
Hard. Like I was
Yeah.
up till 2 in the morning last night. I was up
Yeah.
what I was doing, getting my new website ready, you know?
Mhm.
I got this person, I'm trying to get my marketing done because I need more people to come on over to 360 Health and get some of this love I be giving out. I still got
Mhm.
I got a lot of love to give. And so he was like, your guy told me my website was crap. So we need to build your new website. So he was building it, but it gotta look like me. Gotta
Yeah.
look like me. Well, it didn't feel like me. So I went in, I was like, well, let me see, and so he can drive because he's a marketing expert.
Okay.
And he said he'll be able to drive business to there. And I didn't have a landing page. I don't even know what all these things mean. We working on that. So I was up till 2 in the morning doing that and getting my consents and looking. I always audit myself. Do a lot. I'm a one man show except for my nurse, my little medical assistant. She three of me and I'm 10 of me.
Okay.
She three of me. She keep me in check, thank God. She do what she could do to keep me in check, and the rest, I just push forward. I do all my own billing, all my own everything. I've tried to let people do my billing, but then I don't get my money. Like, well, you
Mm.
got your money, but where my money?
Yeah.
I done played you, but ain't no money there. That better be.
Yeah.
So people work how they want to work. So I always say, I have a great work ethic. So I just do it myself. I learn. I learned how to build. I had to learn how to build. It ain't easy. It's a
Yeah.
it's a job worth knowing though, because guess what? I see 100% of my money now. I have no
Right.
$0 coming in. Like we paid you $0 and nobody went back and got your money. Why you paid me $0 when I did all of this work?
Yeah.
Yeah, no. What I need to do to fix something so I could get a check, so I had to learn those skills, and I love my wound care. And if there's anybody out there that have any wounds that are not healing, I do advanced wound care, Medicare, the red, white, and blue card. I love taking care of you. I have a little story about that. Wound care. I had a young lady come um into the clinic. She was a medical client of mine, and she had went and lost weight. She was a weight loss client. Is what they do at my clinic, and she also was an aesthetic client. And now she looks totally different. She cute now, girl. I ain't gonna lie. I was like amazed with my work myself on that one. I was
Not amazed with my work.
like, because she looked a little masculine. Baby, she got that soft lady face now. She love it. She love it. She still. I know you love it. I know. So anyway, she went to get body work done. She never had a boot. She wanted a little touche.
Yeah.
She went out of the country and they did some lipo on her and burned her. She had stage 4 burn. Like,
Yikes.
yeah. So she had a wound about this big on her tummy, and it was about this deep from here all the way to here.
Oof.
In this way, it went all the way. This way, it went across all the way. there on both sides. So it tunneled is what we call tunnel. So when you look at it, it just looked like dead skin on the top. It was black and all of that. It was necrotic is what we term it, necrotic. And
Okay.
so all of that dead tissue that she had at the top of her needed to come out. And I finished getting, we call that debris. And once I took off all the nasty bad tissue with good tissues, she had a big gaping hole, like I said, like this big in there. And then now
Yeah.
it's time for healing to happen. And it's something I do. She didn't want to look at it. She cried. I sent her away because, you would get sued and stuff like that. And so, I sent her to the ER, urgent care, sent her away too. And
Mm,
get Vaseline gauze and sent her on her merry way. She came back, she was crying. I called wound care. I wanted to send her to wound care because it was bad.
yeah.
I worked wound care. I got a lot of skills here. I worked wound care, so I'm like, "Yeah, she need a doggone vac on her and everything. It was just so bad. And wound vac and stuff to help with healing and stuff. They said they wasn't touching her with a 10 foot. I said, oh, she came back, she cried. What am I to do? I don't know what to do. And it was not looking good.
Yeah.
So I had to start on some antibiotic, because she was getting infected and all of that. Start on antibiotic. Come up with a program for her. And when I told you, honey, go check the website. She owned it.
Okay.
That wound went from zero and on my Instagram as well. From big like this, it's just skin.
Mhm.
Just normal skin now. And grateful, grateful. It took a little while. She came in October. I didn't get her there until probably the next year in probably February, March.
Yeah.
A while. But we got there. It took some work, it took due diligence, and it took somebody who cared.
Mhm.
The wound care people didn't care, the urgent care people didn't care, the ER people did not care.
Mhm.
So wound care, I love it. I do concierge, meaning I will come to your house and will fix you up if you can't get to the clinic. Fix it. Pick us up if you have wound care and you got the red, white, traditional red, white, and blue card. That's the
Okay.
one. All right.
Okay. All right. You want to leave the people with a few takeaways or things you want them to know as far as their weight loss journey? Couple little tips that you can give them.
Consistency,
Mhm.
accountability. Those are the main two things that if you have that, you will win in weight loss. You have to be consistent and you have to stay accountable. So if you can lie to everybody else, but don't lie to yourself.
Okay.
Oh, girlfriend, don't lie to yourself. That's the worst thing. If you could lie to yourself, then I can't help you. Can't help. You can even lie to me, but if you lie to yourself, I can't help. I just can't help you.
Mhm.
That's the thing. Make sure you drink your water. I always say something like this. I'm gonna drink my water, eat my fruits and vegetables, and mind my business.
Okay. That right there. That's the word.
Drink the right water, okay?
And I'm gonna send them over to you so they can go make sure they get the right water. Is it alkaline? It's alkaline.
We can talk about it though. We can talk about it. We definitely can talk about it.
Okay.
Some fruits you should stay away from, while you're on your
Mm.
weight loss journey. So all of those things I put into my program, of what we do. Sometimes people reach out to me on text, they'll send me a picture. Can I have this? Can I have this? So I can see what the vet says or in my intake room, there are label, so you can learn how to read a label. It's important to know how to read and
Mhm.
stuff like that. It takes you a long way. I'm like, did we not teach you how to read this label? You gonna ask me if you could have it? Let's
Right.
come back to class. Let's come back to class and learn how to read this label. I won't be asking
Okay.
about that. But I am
Yes.
answer, but I want you to have the knowledge to be able to move forward. That's called accountability.
Right.
Yeah. So those are
Right.
the things, those are my takeaways for weight loss. Everybody's journey is different. You might be 500 pounds and only want to get to 300. And I'm gonna pray for you to get there. I'm gonna get you there. If that's your number, that's your weight loss goal, I'll change it for you. Come
Okay.
back and give me a weight loss goal. They be 150 pounds. And my weight loss goal is 250. Okay. When they get to 250, they got another goal. They done got this. They didn't even think they could make it that far. Well, Miss Tracy,
Mhm.
I still have another personal goal. Well, let's hear it. Let's hear about it. Let's get there. We can get you there.
Okay.
So we're gonna get you to your personal weight loss goal. We don't care what it is.
Okay. Sounds good. Thank you, Tracy. I appreciate your time today.
Appreciate you having me, y'all. I really do. Hope to see y'all at 360 Health Integrated Medical Boutique where we do pretty things over there. We do the prettiest things over there, okay?
Yes, located in Arlington, right?
Located in Arlington, 1190 West Pioneer Parkway. Arlington's is, right across the street from the YMCA. You're right there. You go here, get your little weight loss, go right on over
And
there.
then go work out.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. See, we
Yes.
convenient,
Okay.
convenient.
I love it. I think we're going to move into the rapid fire question part now. Okay. Is that okay?
That's perfect.
Okay, great. Okay. So, top of the head answers Dallas brunch spot that you can't live without.
I would say Cedar Hill. I like
Okay. Okay.
Hillside Social. I love the food there. I'll say that. Sorry.
No worries. That's perfect. Okay. Morning workouts or late night sessions.
Morning, early morning. That's me every day, at least 3 times a week. At least three
Yeah, me too. I
times.
definitely like a morning workout too. How early are you doing?
Five
Nice.
in the morning, every day. Monday is like Monday, Wednesday, Friday.
Nice.
My thing. Yes.
Smoothie or protein shake?
I would do a smoothie, but I'm a girl that like to chew her food, So I'm not big on the smoothies. 'Cause I like to crunch. Gotta have a crunch. That's a fat girl thing, you know what I'm saying? It really
Yeah,
is.
I understand it too. My fat girl inside, she yes, same. How about favorite cheat meal?
Favorite cheat meal would be anything Cajun. I'm a Cajun girl from Louisiana, and a good bowl of gumbo will just soothe my heart, and some char grilled oysters. Yes, Lord. That's me.
Sounds awesome. How about cardio or weights?
Weight training is something I've learned to do more of. When I first started losing weight, I did a lot of cardio, and I have a lot of corrective things that I had to work on, like skin issues from not having the tone built up, the muscle tone underneath. I had a lot of laxity in my skin. So I myself is working on that right now with body sculpting and workouts.
Okay. And how about your go-to song that maybe gets you hyped for a workout or just hyped for the day?
Anything by Glorilla.
Yes. For us, for all ages.
In the morning, I got her. She's on in the morning. Gotta get hyped
Yeah,
for work.
that's true. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate you taking the time out of your busy schedule to do this with me. Thank you.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it so much.
And that's a wrap, you guys, on today's episode of Life in the D. Big thanks to my guest, Tracy, for keeping it real and reminding us that wellness is a journey and not a quick fix. And y'all already know what I'm going to say. Stay focused, stay grounded, and live bold. You never know where life's going to take you in the D.